Hi guys, this is a video on factorising non-monic trinomials. So a non-monic trinomial is one that has a number other than 1 as the coefficient for x squared. So in this example, in the general one, so instead of 1 we've got an a, and a can be any number. So we just need a different method. The one we learnt before, the monic trinomial method, does not work. So you need a slightly different method. I'll go through by example. So we're going to use this one as an example here. It's non-monic. It's got a 6 as the coefficient of x squared. So what we actually do, and this is why the grouping method that we did before was important, because it comes. We actually split this middle term up into 2, so we can group in pairs. Now, so the process is to so let's say if we call this A, we call this number B, and we call this number C, just like in our general. What we do, firstly, we multiply A times C. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be 6 times 10. Okay, so that's 60. All right, so once we've done that, we're going to look at B now. So what we need to do is find factors of 60 that add to the 19, or the number in B, the B place. Okay, so 60 has a lot of factors. Okay, so just to save a bit of time, so there's 20. Let's list them out. 20, 30. There's 6 times 10 times 10. 15 and 4 is another one. And I'll just stop there because 15 and 4, 15 times 4 is 60, but 15 plus 4 is going to be equal to 19. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. These are the factors we're going to use to split this into pairs. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to take this middle term here, and we're going to split it up into two terms, and we're going to so there's actually 4 terms in total. So rewrite the expression just as it was, and now we're going to split it up into 15x and 4x because we can. Okay, so 15x plus 4x plus 10. We haven't changed anything. We've just split that 19x into 15 groups of x and 4 groups of x. Okay, so now I've got 4 terms. What we can do now is group in pairs. Okay, so we're going to look at those 2 groups there, and we're going to factorise. Okay, so if you look at the first 2 there, there's an x in both terms, and both those terms divided by 3. So you can take 3x, so put a bracket. 6x squared divided by 3x is 2x, and 15x divided by 3x is going to be 5. Okay, so I might just move this over, give myself a bit more room. Oops, lost my. Okay, so the next one, again, we've got 4x and 10, the highest common factor is 2, plus 2. Let's take out, so 4x divided by 2 is going to be 2x, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Again, so these are designed to factorise quite nicely. So you'll see that, should see that 2x plus 5 is the highest common factor. That comes out the front, and we're left with 3x plus 2. Okay, so that is how you factorise a non-monic trinomial. Okay, so a number other than 1 in front of the x. Actually, I'll go over and I'll do this one here. Okay, so this is another example. So this one's got a negative in it. So first of all, we actually write the steps down here. We're going to do 9 times negative 8. So that equals negative 72. Okay, so we have to think about factors of negative 72 that will add up to plus 6. Okay, so let's do some factors of 72. 6 and 12. Is that right? Okay, so one of them's got to be negative because it has to be the product was negative, just like in the other examples. And we're aiming for a plus 6. So I think if we put a negative here, 12 minus 6 is equal to positive 6. Okay, so 72 again has more factors, but we're going to split it into these two here. So let me just, okay, so my 6x, I'll just move this down here, now becomes negative 6x. Remember our factor was negative, so our next one has to be negative as well, and plus 12. Okay, so minus 8, sorry, 12x. Okay, you can't forget that x. Alright, so negative 6x plus 12x is 6x. Okay, so now we've got our pairs. Let's just put some brackets around them to show that's what we're factorising. Okay, so in the first example, or the first term there, it's going to be 3x. The highest common factor is 3x. 9x squared divided by 3x is 3x. Negative 6x divided by 3x is negative 2, brackets. Now, in brackets here, what we can take out of 12 and negative 8 is positive 4, okay, and that leaves us with 3x. Negative 8 divided by positive 4 is negative 2, and again, factorises nicely. Okay, if you're not getting these two terms the same, you're probably doing something wrong. You need to check your arithmetic. So 3x minus 2, and what's left in the outside the brackets is 3x plus 4. Okay, so that is how you factorise a non-monic. Have a go at some questions, and good luck.